Hello, this is TV Fish One, and welcome back. It is another The Hub podcast. I'm sorry I haven't done one of this. The last time I've done one of these podcasts has been back in 2014, I'm pretty sure, and this is number 6. Obviously, last time was number 5. So we're going back into it. It is currently Valentine's Day as of this upload, I'm pretty sure. Well, as of recording of this, it is Valentine's Day 2015, and I am here to do a little podcast for you guys. I thought, you know what, be appropriate. As of, I haven't done one in a while, like, 2.5 months. How long has it been? I've just lost track of, basically. Well, obviously not been 2.5 months. It's been a little less than 2 months. Anyway, I know I like doing these podcasts, so I'm back again with the one. It's just that it takes me a while to record it. But, of course, everything else, it's pretty okay on effort-wise. I've got a lot of time off, so I'll probably get one of these up next week as well. And I did promise you in other videos that I would do one of these. So here you go, guys. Let's go and, get into my major news stories. Okay, so as I said in my last few wrestling videos, my Royal Rumble 2015 review, which revolved around this man here you see on this picture, Roman Reigns, the Samoan, heritage, lineage of Samoan, former Shield member, Roman Reigns, winner of the Royal Rumble 2015. Okay, I'm going to talk about this guy today on the show. Whatever I want to say about him, I'm going to let out. Okay. So, yeah, he won the Royal Rumble 2015. When Daniel Bryan defeated Seth Rollins on Raw a couple of weeks ago, he earned the right to face Roman Reigns at Fastlane with the number 1 contendership for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Despite the fact that both Roman Reigns and Bryan are faces, there is plenty of heat between them and Raw, as the build towards Fastlane kicks into another gear. Pitting two faces against one another and creating a compelling story can be very difficult, but it is clear they would be committed to making Reigns versus Bryan work. This is from Bleacher Report, and you can go check that out online. It's one of the first matches you get when you search this up. The Authority forced the two superstars to team up twice on Raw, and there were predictably some issues along the way. At one point, Bryan accidentally dropkicked Reigns. Following the main event, they exchanged words and got into a shoving match, and Reigns ultimately speared the leader of the Yes Movement. Okay, so this all happened back on Raw. I said I was going to talk about, stuff that happened on Raw, watch it. I know I didn't watch this Raw, but I'm going ahead and talk about what happened. Before this, my opinion on the whole Roman Reigns thing, I talked about it on Raw, on the Royal Rumble review quite quickly and unsignificantly, but today I'm going to start going into more depth about my opinion on Roman Reigns. This man himself, what have we been talking about to this guy? He's been the Shield, of course, and he was a face. Well, heel face. Yeah, mostly he was a face. He went in, and this is sort of going into mid-2014. He started to go single career. Obviously, Seth Rollins splitting up the team there. And then we got in to see him go his own way, become more of a main eventer and a leader of matches and having a great spot on the show. Most Raws, he was getting put forward by the whole team at WWE. He was basically being pushed, as of course the fans would, the fans themselves. They know that someone's push. They know that when the creative team are pushing someone, they feel that it shouldn't happen or whatever. It's very weird that way it goes on. Of course, this is put pretty well in Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast with Triple H. They talk about. I kind of listened to it for about half an hour or something like that, and yeah, Roman Reigns is getting pushed by the creative team, and of course you're going to have a lot of people who are vocal and do not want this to happen or do not want it to go the way it has gone, or the way Roman Reigns has pushed this big gigantic baby face, just like just like John Cena. Really, they're very comparable people. And they do have a lot in comparison, but you can never really say they're the same person. They're not being pushed the same way, really. And again, the crowd are reacting quite similarly, but again, there's so much difference between these two guys. You can't compare them in the sense that their type of wrestling is the same. I think that their mic skills are different. Roman Reigns definitely needs to work on his mic skills a little, and he's improving everything as he's going along. Since mid 2014, when he's been put into this more of main event position, he's had to go along with it and work on everything that he needs to do in order to be a sellable star. And he's already sort of got to the level where a lot of younger audience members are thinking, what a great guy, this guy is going to make it in a WWE, and he's going to be the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion. 2015 could be a great year for Roman Reigns, and obviously we know this going from Royal Rumble, which was obviously on. It sort of signified the direction the WWE are taking. But is that so? Because, well, you're not really sure, because when I was talking about this on Raw a couple of Raws ago, this Raw, the latest Raw, Daniel Bryan has been put into position, and this has been going on since a few weeks ago, just after Royal Rumble. Really, Daniel Bryan, the guy that the fans are even more engaged with than Roman Reigns, in my opinion. They have he has a bigger following. He has the audience go crazy for him. He's that one guy that the Authority have put down, and is one guy that the crowd, the fans, have completely got behind and have pushed themselves. While Roman Reigns, on the other hand, has taken another approach to it all, and he's just been put into a different position where he is being pushed towards WrestleMania, main event, whatever you want to call it. And there's a lot of roadblocks in the face of him, but he's going to have to roll with it because that's the way it's gone. The crowd, on the other hand, have gone from a different side point. They've seen Roman Reigns just being pushed out of the blue, and again, he has been on whatever NXT. He's worked his way, really got picked up by WWE. I don't think he has the same respect as maybe other superstars, of course, of not really being on the independent scene, sort of just been plucked into NXT. Unlike Daniel Bryan, who's been working for 15 years beforehand. Yeah, so it's definitely a controversial thing. Daniel Bryan, he's a 2-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion, obviously, for a short period on his first championship reign, and his second time he had quite a bit longer, but obviously was taken off him by the Authority. It was a storyline, but also went into real world, and since then it's been an uphill battle for Daniel Bryan. Obviously he's definitely being pushed, of course, defeating Seth Rollins. But again, you're pitting him up against Roman Reigns, and this is where the interest from me is going up and up and up. And we've got really, really an interesting matchup at Fastlane, if we see it, and it's of course Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan for the number one contendership for Brock Lesnar, going to WrestleMania 31. A very important match. And again, we want to know what's going to happen, because you can draw a lot of similarities. I can draw a lot of similarities to WrestleMania 30. I watched it. It was great. New Orleans. It was an anniversary. It was perfectly put. Spectacular. And we saw a triple threat, didn't we? We saw Batista, and we saw Randy Orton, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion at the time, and against Daniel Bryan in that triple threat. Beforehand, we also got Daniel Bryan having to qualify against Triple H. Triple H, is he going to go and be involved in this? Are we going to see a triple threat? We're going to see Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Brock Lesnar? Possibly. Are we going to see Roman Reigns going against Brock Lesnar? Again, possibly. And are we going to see Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar? Possibly. Again, the Authority are getting involved here, and Triple H is one of those superstars. He's unpredictable. You don't know whether he's going to go in and fight them, or where he's going to take a backstage seat here. And of course, Triple H is already involved in his own storyline with Sting, so we could see him take a step back from this, but have people come on. You know, we've got Seth Rollins. He's that unpredictable variable in this whole, that's in the constant that is Brock Lesnar, and then you've got the variable, which is Seth Rollins. And we all know that Roman Reigns is probably going to make it to WrestleMania, and definitely a future World Heavyweight Champion. We all know that Daniel Bryan is possibly pretty much likely to be a future World Heavyweight Champion once again. A 3-time champion, that's coming up. we all know that Brock Lesnar is gonna have to defend it, and whether he's gonna lose the title, it's quite obvious that we have to have someone built up. So far, we've gotten Roman Reigns, who has had a story of being for the WWE. He's a great asset of theirs, and we've got Daniel Bryan, who's had a great long storied of WWE career, and of course, is Roman Reigns ready to prove it? That's one variable in the situation you got here, and of course, is Daniel Bryan going to do it? Daniel Bryan is this one hope story that everyone's gotten behind. The reason he's gotten so popular is because he hasn't been pushed by the WWE in the same way that anyone else that they want to get there has been. He's been that undeniably underdogged person has worked so hard, worked his ass off to get to that position, and has been put down each time, and in somewhat relatable fashion, he's gotten all his big spots taken away from him. I mean, a lot of what he has done in the WWE has been to no avail, and finally he gets his big spot, and then the Authority somehow intervene, and the Authority inevitably win at the end. Now, that was a year ago, and since then, Daniel Bryan has been on the uphill battle, and he's completely gotten back into the position where he can wrestle at 31. The question is, how are WWE going to do this? Because they've got a problem on their hands right now, where Daniel Bryan is getting cheers, Roman Reigns is getting a mixed reaction, possibly more boos, but again, that's developing as we're going along. Seth Rollins is a heel. Brock Lesnar is a heel, but again, Brock Lesnar is one of those people that you can definitely put in the main event, and will give you a big cheer, a big crowd reaction, really. They teamed up, of course, on Raw, and once again on SmackDown to run through a tag team tournament match that concluded when they defeated Big Show and Kane. Although they were able to coexist to some degree, it was obvious throughout the match that they were trying to one-up each other. So this is WWE trying to show us that we've got some great talent in both, and they're trying to showcase both. I think that they're doing a good job with Roman Reigns. He's of course being put up as a very good star, and Daniel Bryan, he's got a sort of new edge to him, which I think adds to his character completely. The fact that he is put down last year, and this year, it's his year. He knows it. The crowd are even more behind him than before. He's been out for so long, but again, they're still there for him. Both men desperately want to challenge Brock Lesnar for the title at WrestleMania, and they have shown no misgivings about going through each other in order to do so. It is a very, very interesting storyline going into 31. This has been put perfectly last year, 30. WrestleMania 30. The whole lead up to that, the whole road to WrestleMania was quite predictable. We saw, Batista win. Of course, we didn't want to see Roman Reigns win that time. We did, but Batista won. Since then, you could see Daniel Bryan would make it. Of course, he had the big battle with the Authority last year, and of course, he finally went face to face with Triple H, and had a match, and of course, he won. Randy Orton, Batista, and Daniel Bryan. And as we see Batista, who was sort of a heel, Randy Orton, who was sort of a heel, and then you get the face, Daniel Bryan. WrestleMania 30, a perfect position to have Daniel Bryan win that WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And what happened? We got that. Of course we did. And the crowd were behind it, and of course it was going to happen. It was a WrestleMania moment to be remembered. This year, however, we have a lot of different variables, and it sort of follows a different path in order to get to the same area. We want to see a babyface victory, don't we? So, in order to get that, what we're going to get is Daniel Bryan winning, possibly Roman Reigns getting a big spots, whatever, but inevitably we want to see a victory of a babyface. Now, I think John Cena is definitely going to distance himself from that whole World Heavyweight Championship spotlight. Obviously, you've seen him in 30 obviously going against Bray Wyatt in no championship match, and but he was last time he was really in a spot like that was 29, and now in 31 he's going up against Rusev. I mean, we're obviously seeing that happening, and this year we're going to see a lot more variables. We're saying this quite a lot. We got Seth Rollins, who's just a guy that he split up with the Shield. He broke down the Shield, and he inevitably let the Shield down in his opinion. So we got Roman Reigns, who could be going after Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has always been trying to distance himself from the Shield members, but Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are inevitable enemies. And in the end, if Roman Reigns goes up against Seth Rollins in any case, you're going to have to cheer for Roman Reigns, and that's where the crowd are going to start cheering for him, Superman Punch, whatever he wants to do. It would be a great moment to have, and of course, in what the way is going on, I really don't know how. We got the Roman Reigns, we got Daniel Bryan, we got Brock Lesnar, and then where does Seth Rollins fit in with any of this? When is he going to cash in? Obviously, I think that, in my opinion, I mean, who's he facing at? Of course, Fastlane. We're not sure, but again, it just really falls in anywhere. The story between Reigns and Bryan thus far has been a simple one, but it has certainly resonated. It has allowed Reigns to become more a tweener due to Bryan's popularity, and there is added to his character. Even Bryan has shown a certain edge as well, which is a bit of a departure from his normal gimmick. Neither Reigns nor Bryan is allowed the term face or heel to limit what they can do, and blurring the lines in what has made them thus far the most interesting angle going in WWE. WWE has also drawn on the real life concerns some fans have by having Bryan carry most of the load in the ring. Bryan has made that fact against Reigns, and should add even more fuel to their rivalry, with Bryan making the WWE Universe question Reigns' readiness for the main event scene. It will mean that much more when they put on a spectacular match at Fastlane. Of course, I always talk about that. Reigns and Bryan's interactions have been nothing short of compelling, and they will be solely responsible for the success of Fastlane. On the heels of Triple H challenging Sting to a face-to-face meeting at Fastlane, the vigilante Sting responded on Raw. The game demanded to know if Sting intends to appear at the upcoming pay-per-view, and has got his answer in an elaborate manner as 3 Sting lookalikes played mind games with Triple H before the Icon accepting the challenge through a video package. So yeah, sorry, I just got into the next article there, but let's take a look at let's do my opinion firstly of the Roman Reigns incident. What's going on? Not an incident, but the Roman Reigns thing. What else are you going to think of? But again, Daniel Bryan, right? He is the fans' favourites, and inevitably, I think he's going to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns, is he ready for the push? In my opinion, no, he's not. I don't know. I just don't think that he has the complete. He's the look. His skills in the ring, I think, still need more work. And I don't think that a story is really great enough for me to believe totally in. His mic work needs more work, of course. But again, if they were to put him in WrestleMania at a smaller match, yes, that would be good. Not for the actual World Heavyweight title, of course. They're going to have to find some way of getting him out of that title match. And for me, in my opinion, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if they actually give him that title match at WrestleMania. So he's been put in a position where, obviously Daniel Bryan beat Seth Rollins to face Roman Reigns at Fastlane. It's going to be a very interesting one. Obviously, I'm going to watch that on the network. And on top of all that, we know that, Seth Rollins can come back from that. We know that Roman Reigns has one opportunity. We know Seth Rollins has one opportunity now. And we know that Daniel Bryan really has one opportunity. If he doesn't win this year, we could see him potentially going on after that. But the crowd will be even more behind him as before. Well, probably not the same. But if you get rid of this, if you stop this, the yes movement can't last forever. So you're thinking, if Daniel Bryan doesn't win this year, where is he going to go from there? You really want to give him a good spot because he's your top face in the company, and if you don't roll with him, then you're making a big mistake in terms of how things are going. And I just think that, well, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, will that sell? Probably not. But will Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar sell? You never know, really. At WrestleMania, of course, it's gonna be anything that the fans are gonna get. They're gonna get. They've paid for their tickets, and the main event needs to work. And a triple threat for me, I just don't think that would work too well. They did it at 30, and this year to have a repeat of a triple threat, I don't know if that should be. I want a singles match. The thing is, I think I want two of the biggest icons to go on and win together for that title, and it's gonna be Brock Lesnar, and it's gonna be someone else. And Fastlane is gonna be a big reminder that only Roman Reigns or Daniel Bryan can make it. And for me, at Fastlane, we all know which way it's gonna go. Daniel Bryan is gonna win, and come on, guys, Daniel Bryan for WrestleMania. That's the thing that everyone's looking at. The Authority are looking at Seth Rollins, but the variable is Seth Rollins. Anyway, guys, that's just a little bit of talk from me. I'm just reading from the side, of course. I told you guys it is the one and only Bleacher Report here. I was watching Raw. Well, I was watching Superstars, and it gave us a little recap on Raw. They had a little showcase of Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. They did a little bit of mic work, just a little bit, and just shared their opinions on everything that was going on here. Daniel Bryan obviously comes in and is sort of just there, you know. Anyway, the Authority are facing off against Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, really showing no like to either of them. But of course, the Authority are going to have to back one of either, because look, we've got Roman Reigns and we've got Daniel Bryan. Cannot have the Authority just be watching on forever. They're going to have to choose a side and go with it. And then we can see the heel turn approach. Roman Reigns, they're never going to get behind Daniel Bryan. And you know you don't want to see Daniel Bryan come a heel. So there you go. Just a little bit of thought going in there in this podcast, guys. Yeah. Roman, should he ever win the Royal Rumble? Personally, if this direction that WWE are going in, they wanted to show us, well, this is the direction they were going with. I mean, they've got Rock going on Roman Reigns' side. Very interesting. I think this whole direction is very interesting and unique. And it shouldn't have been this way, but the crowd knew it were going to be this way, and they knew this is the way it was going to be pushed. So of course they went a sort of inevitable way. And really, I don't think that they could have done much else. Now,